Hi, I'm David Norris, and I'm serving up the perfect podcast, Pompey Platter with Russ, Daz, and Haz. Play up, Pompey.
Murphy scores! A magnificent goal! That's just wonderful from Josh Murphy! Shaughnessy, great saving! Shaughnessy at the near post! Chance for Colby Bishop over the goalkeeper, off the post and into the back of the net! Colby Bishop! Lang's got his fourth! A fourth for Callum Lang!
Hello and welcome to the Pompey Patter podcast. This is episode 6 of season 2, Dazzling Dozzell part 2 and Chaplin comes home. I'm joined as ever with Russ and Haz. How you doing, guys? You right?
All good, my friend.
Yeah, all good. Good week.
Yeah, not feeling over the panic. There was no need to be panicked, was there?
Who was panicking? No one panicked.
No.
There wasn't people losing their head after Saturday.
Yeah.
No.
Neither of you are putting two and two together and getting 25, so that's fine.
I got
Well, to be
2.5.
fair-
I
to
got
be
2.5.
We were only saying what was going on.
Yeah. And as I said, enjoy it, drink it in, and then see what happens. Anyway,
All right.
let's crack on. We're going to do a quick press review. Then we'll move into the transfer window and review that. After that, if there's anyone that wants to come on and give their opinion about anything that we put out about a tweet a little while ago about coming on and discussing anything, maybe things that are getting on your nerves or that sort of stuff, then let's have a debate about that. Then we'll move into Russ's Taskmaster, into my blind rankings. That's rankings. And then we move into the end bit of Harry's Who Am I? And then any other business. So it's the pressing review. It's another win, a first win of the season at home, first clean sheet at home. And as he's your boy, Russ, I think the best thing to do is let you start off.
Well, yeah, he was best player on the pitch by a mile, in my opinion. He just, I don't know why now people are seeing it. I don't know if it's because all eyes were on Freddie Potts last season and he just got unnoticed. But he's not all of a sudden people are like, why didn't he perform like this last season? He fucking did. But no one noticed. So I'm glad, for me, I'm really happy people starting to see it because I've rated him since day one. And it's just good to see just how much he can control a midfield. Jury's still out and Swift in that position next to him, but he was just everywhere. He was getting forward, getting back. Obviously, he took his goal well. I know it took a deflection, but if you don't shoot, you don't score.
I did tell you Michael Smith would score against us, didn't I?
Well, yeah, technically hit his arm, handball, penalty. But it kind of reminded me a bit of last year's game in the first half, where kind of like nothing happened, and then we started to get a bit of pressure, and then one of our players decided to hit outside the box from a corner, and then it went. Maybe not as good as Murphy's last year, but I feel like we deserved the lead at half time. Thought Preston offered absolutely nothing in the first half. Bishop probably could have had a couple. I think one of them, if I remember, he was offside, if I remember rightly.
He was, yeah.
But we definitely at half time came away as the better team.
Yeah, we definitely were. I was sat in the south stand with my other half on Saturday, so I had a bit of a different view being closer to the pitch. So obviously I had a similar view to yourself. how big was that Preston side? And like, do you think that, especially in the first half, they didn't really offer a great deal apart from maybe Thierry Small down that left hand side? Do you think they came to sort of frustrate and like put loads of big bodies in there?
Um, I think that's just the kind of team that Paul Heckingbottom wants to play with. If you look at when he was at Sheffield United, he kind of had a similar team. He likes the kind of really tall defenders, or no defenders at all, but like he likes to have like a lot of people over 6 foot. He likes to play that physical game. He had the two up front in Jebison and Smith. Obviously, didn't do a lot between them. Obviously, they'd normally have Osmajic, but he was out injured. I think it's just a kind of typical Preston away performance. If you had to say what are Preston going to do, it's kind of exactly what they did. I'd say they were probably on top for the first probably 10, 15 minutes. We took, again, similar to, it's kind of been a pattern trend so far this season where we've taken about 15 to 20 minutes to actually get hold and get into a game. We've been quite sluggish at the start, and that's why we were punished against Norwich a few weeks ago. But even though I would say they were on top, again, Schmidt didn't really have a lot to do the whole game. It was their keeper and Iverson that was actually probably their man of the match with a couple of great saves, and he was the busier of the two keepers. I think they probably tried to kind of play the 3-4-3-5-2. Thierry Small was definitely their most attacking player and the most threatening, but he put in a good few balls. But when you've got Michael Smith, who's nearly 35, and Daniel Jefferson, who can't play football, in the box, you're not going to really do anything.
Yeah, like what I got from the first half was especially like a lot like their outlet was Thierry Small, and I know we obviously like to put it out towards Murphy, and that's where we create a lot of chances. But I don't think they had any like creativity apart from getting the ball out to Thierry Small. Um, Obviously with us, we've got the likes of Segatic, Swift, all that in the middle, as well as being Keane, who I don't think he really got into the game massively, especially in the first half, from what I could see. Um, I felt that, yeah, I think we definitely had the better the first half. I think we deserved our goal. I think if we'd have gone in playing that way and not getting a goal before half time, I think it could have been a real big slog second half, because I think it was a bit of a slog, but it was a slog that we were comfortable with, like kind of sitting in. Russ, even though that like Preston seemed to have the better of the second half, like sort of possession wise and a bit of pressure, did you ever feel like they would get an equaliser? Because I can't really remember a clear cut opportunity for them.
No, we looked comfortable. The back four again showing just what a one-off Norwich game was. Just outstanding. Couldn't get anything through us. Sorry. Never looked. It just never looked scoring. I don't think Schmidt really had anything to do. A couple of shots just at him. Defence sort of done well. I thought Josh Knight did what he could do when he come on. And Paul at right back looked quite decent in my eyes. It just was kind of like we sat back and hit him on a counter attack, didn't we? But Murphy just, I don't know, how much he could read into his performance. Was his mind elsewhere? Was he overdoing it because he thought maybe if this is his last game, he really wanted to put an effort in? Sometimes when players overdo it, it ends up making them look shit. But I thought he was awful the weekend. Although as bad as he was, his crossing was still one of the best I've ever seen at this level. Anyway, he still could whip in the ball. Like how he didn't score at the end, I just couldn't believe it. But it just it was just a really dull game, wasn't it? Really. Luckily, there's not a lot to talk about, especially second half. I don't really remember much other than that Murphy chance at the end.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do.
Go on, Tommy.
Sorry, Daz, I was going to say I
No, go
do
on.
think that it might have just been coincidence, but maybe some players, get on with it. You look at like Mark Gay, he knew that he was basically going to go to Liverpool for a while. Obviously, it didn't happen in the end. Palace pulled the plug. but his performances haven't been affected. Maybe Murphy kind of was half expecting to go, maybe. I don't know, maybe his agent had said that they're coming in. Obviously, we know that he had photos with his family on the pitch at the end of the game, which again, it could have just been prepping, right? Because once he's gone on deadline day, you haven't really got any time. So maybe they just wanted to get it done in case. Obviously, the club's stance was that he was never for sale, but as a player, maybe he was just being prepared. You don't know. I think another day, the only thing I'd really say was that last chance after Devlin bust his ass for about 50 yards. He's put a wonderful ball in, and then Murphy decides to chip it. I don't really know what he was doing there. But as Russ said, if Murphy's having an off day and still produces okay, he could have scored a couple goals maybe, but he still produces a decent performance, then you've got a player on your hands when he's still producing the crossing and ability he did, despite not being completely on his game.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Like, and I think that shows you, as you're saying, shows the quality of Murphy. That even though he's probably not at 90%, he can still like put in a decent enough performance, and like with especially in the first half, two of those crosses, obviously I think one was Bishop was offside and one of them he wasn't. Two beautiful balls in, and we could have got goals from them as well. So he's, even when he's not playing particularly well, he's still given us goal scoring opportunities, which you can't ask any more of. I think when you've got the likes of Bianchini, I think he's done all right so far, but I would probably think if he's not at the races, he probably doesn't get you any chances. Where obviously Josh Murphy clearly does. And I said it in our WhatsApp group, when all that news came out about him having pictures and the chance he missed and that kind of stuff. It can, like, if those rumours weren't floated about, you would just think he's just not had the best game. He still had a good game. And that thing after the game, having pictures with his family on the pitch, maybe a particular relative is down or a particular friend is down, I don't know, and they're having pictures done. Like, you never know.
That was definitely unprepared because I sit where I sit at the Fratton end, you can see all the family that are there.
Yeah.
And it was just his missus and his kid, and they're there every week.
Mm. Well, the thing is, I listened. I saw what Cullen said in the news today. I don't know if he said it today, but it was put up today that he kind of made out that there was nothing at all, like no, like sort
No,
of. So unless Murphy's agent or Leicester are putting something down the line saying that we're going to put a bid in for you, and they're acting like they're serious, because I can't believe Josh Murphy would think Leicester offering 2 million is going to get him out of the club and get him to Leicester.
I've heard so many things. I've heard that apparently no bid came in for him, and I've heard, but then you listen to I listened to Moon's podcast and Jordan Cross was on there, and he never said the figure, but he said I know the figure, and he said even he knows that never would have been accepted. So you're getting contrasting stories
That
about,
was the reported 2 million, wasn't it?
is there a bid? Isn't there a bid? I don't know. Either way, the positive sign is the club stood their ground and was like, nah, you're not going anywhere. Whether there was a bid or maybe it got out from Leicester's end, they inquired, we said no, and that was the end of it. And people just adding more to the story. You just don't know, do you? You don't really know. Bit like the Lang situation where people convinced they put a bid in, and then even Preston were like, "Well, we didn't."
That's it, and I think I've said this a number of times. Unless you're in the room, you can never say for definite. You're just choosing to believe someone that you either know of or a complete stranger of what they're saying. So it's always best just to, and that's kind of how I felt on Saturday, and that's what I was saying in the WhatsApp group was sort of, there's nothing we can do about it. We don't know what's what. It's best thing to do is try not to worry about it. And I know that's relatively quite a simple way of looking at things, but I've got myself into that mind frame now with a lot of things that if something's in the future and I can't do anything about it, or if it's not going to happen until a certain day, there's no point in worrying about it until you get to that point, until you can actually sort it out or whether it's done or not. So, yeah, and I suppose unless there's anything more to talk about Preston, it's not a bad way to segue into transfer news and review. Has anyone got anything
Indeed.
else about Preston? Anything else you want to pick up?
No.
Anything you noticed? As I said, it was quite. It wasn't. I don't think it was a. This is what I was trying to think about earlier. I don't know if it was dull or not. I think it's.
Oh, it was dull.
It was pretty boring. It wasn't the best game, but we managed to scrape. We managed to show that one bit of quality to get that goal and get the win.
and
Whereas
that,
this
yeah,
time last year, we wouldn't have been able to do that.
that's it exactly, and that's going to be the difference from us just about scraping to stay up or staying up comfortably and looking up rather than down. So
Exactly.
yeah, so it's pluses, and obviously it's 3 points going into I can't remember who we're playing next, but it's a free game coming up soon. So, but
I
anyway,
have no idea who's next.
Some
no
small
idea
little tin pot
exactly.
bastards. That's all I know.
So we've got next coming up transfer review. Do we just want to like talk about how we feel, like sort of the ratings and such, or what we feel?
I've
Look at
got.
it.
I'll I'll quickly go through the ins and outs.
Yeah, go.
So the outs were Tom McIntyre has left on loan. He went to Bradford on deadline day. Good luck,
Oh,
Bradford.
yeah. Poor
Uh,
Bradford.
Alexander Milesevic left on a free, but he basically was never actually a Pompey player anyway. Riley Towler went to Lincoln for a fee.
Doing well.
All we know is it is profit on what we paid, but we paid 30k for him. So make of that what you want. Cohen Bramall was let go on a free. Abdullah Kamara was let go on a free. He's now gone to a German third division side. Paddy Lane went to Reading, and we got back what we sold him for, which was about 250k. Matt Ritchie was let go on a free. Cassini Yengi was let go on a free, and Christian Sadie went to Wigan for about 150k, 200k. I'm not including the loans that were let, obviously, like Potts and Hayden. That I'm not bothering with them. So that's 9 players that were here permanently last year who have now gone. We signed 11. So you've got Joseph Bursick, an undisclosed fee from Club Brugge. Josh Knight, around 850k from Hanover. John Swift, a free from West Brom. Mark Kosnowski from Budapest for reportedly 1.2 million. Luke Leroux from Varnamo in the Swedish league, which is about £1 million. They converted it was 25 million South African rands, which is about 1 million quid. Adrian Segacic from Sydney, technically on a free, but we've paid around £600,000 on compensation. Franco Ume from Palace for 500k. Mackenzie Kirk, 500k from St Johnstone. Then the 3 loanees are Yang Min Hyuk from Spurs, Florian Bianchini from Swansea, and then Conor Chaplin from Ipswich.
Lovely. Oh, quick one as we the deadline day sightings. I've seen the squad numbers have come out for them. Bursic
Yeah.
has got 26, Kirk 25, Ume 15, and our boy Connor has got number
He's
36.
got his old shirt number back.
Was it 36? That he was it?
His first ever number, yeah, the when he
Was
went
it?
to debut.
That was his first ever shirt number, was 36. I think that's quite nice that he's got that, because Jacob Farrell's got 19, so he couldn't have that.
So leading up to the last day of the transfer window, when there was 2 players we were pretty certain was to come in, was Kirk and Ume. What was your guys' ranking of the um, transfer, like sort of transfer for us? What was your rankings before we knew about Connor?
I think you were probably looking at about a 6 out of 10, just because you were still lacking that kind of star player. We were looking for the wing, but that's because we were considering Segacic to be that number 10. You're looking for that kind of star right winger to kind of match what Murphy has, just because there's a reason why Matt Ritchie was told he was told he wasn't going to play as much, and partly down to the fact that we needed to the goal output coming from that right hand side needed to improve on 6 goals, 6 goal involvements, to take some of that burden off of Josh. So we were looking for that right wing, and it did seem like maybe that wasn't coming. But obviously, then by signing CONOR CHAPLIN on loan, it enables the fact that you've got him as the 10. You can move Segatic to the right, and then the fact that you bought Franco Ume behind him, and then you've got Callum Lang to come back and play 10 or on the right, and then you've got Yang Min Hyuk as well. I think it bolstered it up, definitely with the CONOR CHAPLIN signing. It probably bolstered it up to probably an 8 for me. I think it would be a 9 if it went to a permanent deal. But it is surprising. You think maybe there would have been a permanent deal talk. Maybe it was just too much. I mean, I've got Andy Cullen's quotes about the Conor's move. So Conor's availability came rather late in the window, whereas others we've been tracking for some time and have been long-term projects. We were able to move pretty swiftly to bring him in, and it was too good an opportunity to turn down. Over the summer, we have invested in transfer fees for a number of players. Extra wages have also been committed to what we spent last year. So I'm really grateful to Michael and the board for allowing us to go and get one more. It was the last week of the window when this one became available. The others had been going on for some time. In fact, some of the signings we've been tracking since the window opened, which even Joseph Bursick talked about in his interviews just done. He said this talk of coming here started as soon as the last season finished. But like everything, you can't conclude this on the first day of the window. You have to be patient until it unravels. When this opportunity came up, we went to them, as in the owners, about Conor and pointed out this was a Premier League player last season, so it was going to take some commitment to happen. I won't go into budgets, I never do, but one thing we needed was their support to make it happen, and I'm thankful for that. When we had the conversation, we went through the different options. They were hugely supportive, and they obviously know the player, which helps. So we'd kind of spent the money that was originally given, but when there's a star player available like CONOR CHAPLIN, they've gone to the board and said, "Look, I know we've spent your money, but can you give us a little bit more because this guy's fucking good." And also, he's from Pompey, so he's from Worthing, but he came through the academy, and the fans will love him. So please, can we have a little bit more money? And they did.
Russ, what was your rankings before? Like, let's go with you. Go before and after Conor, and then I'll go back to
Pretty much
with his after.
the same. It was like a 6 before. I put a tweet out just about a week ago saying, look, I've sort of moaned the whole summer about how people have just been impatient with the window. And the moaning and the groaning. I said, let's just all wait till that 7 p.m. on Monday and then let's judge it. So it would have been a 6 out of 10 and an underwhelming if Chappers ain't come in, even with Kirk and that. He alone takes up to an 8, and keeping Murphy as well, actually. And keeping Lang and, Bishop. I'm not saying people are in for Bishop, but, just
rumours.
keeping that core, in Schmid and players like that, because I just don't get why people and it just shows that the club do have ambition and it shows they did have a plan, and like the club have always said, they're happy to be patient for the right player to come along. Imagine if we did all our business early like everyone wanted us to, we never would have got Chaplin.
No.
And also those who were desperate to keep Richie and didn't understand why we let him go Richie, probably most of his wages that we've just saved has probably helped get Chaplin in.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think I said on our WhatsApp group, didn't I? I think when we were talking about would you rank it as, I think I said 9 now Conor was in, but I think I was just feeling a little bit giddy. But I would say with Conor there is 8.5 for me.
I think if Conor was a permanent deal, I think you could say a 9.
Yeah.
It's the fact that you've managed to loan, even if you take away the fact he was ex Pompey, we all love him and we love him more because Kenny Jackett's a twat. You've brought in a player who has won the League One Golden Boot, has been a pivotal part of their back-to-back promotions up from League One to the Premier League, has played 20 games in the Premier League last season, scored in the Premier League, and has played at the Championship a hell of a lot more than quite a lot of our players that we've got right now. And you're signing him at 28 years old. He's literally coming into his prime this year. Yeah, okay, we've only got him for a year right now, but you're signing a player on loan in his prime. It doesn't happen that often. And then you can add on the fact that he came through our academy and he's one of our own. It just makes it even better.
What also makes it better is the fact that how absolutely gutted Ipswich fans are.
Mate, they're
They are
fuming.
like,
They want the manager and the board to resign. Some of them.
Yeah, I was listening to well, I just saw a clip, but I think they're called Kings of Anglia. I think they're like their
Yeah, I saw that on YouTube.
yeah,
Yeah,
they're like some of them are like I don't know if they all journalists, but they're quite a big high profile. I think they get a lot of access to the club. And you could see on their faces they were like shell shocked about it all, and especially as he started on Saturday against Derby. That's what I found quite crazy. This when something like that happens, you seem to think that is there something else going on, like, and that's what a lot of them are saying. But I mean, I know he's got a recall in January, but I would guess that majority of loans always have some kind of recall in there somewhere.
they do. I'm pretty sure Moon said that when we had him on before.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just because they only say it when they want to.
Yeah, I've obviously I reckon they've probably put that out there as the recall, so it kind of so the Ipswich fans kind of feel a little bit better about it. Do you know what I mean? Because at
Yeah,
least they think, oh, in January we could get him back. But let's hope that Ipswich are flying top of the table, no injuries whatsoever, and then they get promoted this season. And you never know because the thing is, contracts are up at the end of this season. But
it is. Yes.
what I was thinking about earlier, because Ume was, I was under the impression, and all the news we saw was the fact that he was going to be a loan signing. Do we think that him getting turned into a permanent had anything to do with Chaplin coming in? Because that all seemed very last minute. It went from being a loan to being a permanent.
It potentially, but also I think it might have been on the Palace side. The fact that he only had a year left. He also only had a year left at Palace, and I think Palace were conscious of they'd rather get 500 grand for him now than even less in January or nothing at all next year. But it also could have been on Portsmouth's side. Maybe that transfer kind of worked better for all parties. And the fact that Palace would maybe like, well, we could do with it. We'll let him go on loan. But if you want to buy him, buy him. And then we came along and went, yeah, all right, we'll buy him.
Mm.
After kind of agreeing a loan, because then it meant that we had the right amount of people in the 25-man squad. We've got the exact amount of 25, obviously with the under 21s, because if Ume signed as an under 20, signed on loan, he would have counted, and then we'd have had one too many, and we'd have had to leave someone out. So we've got exactly the right amount now. So I think maybe that kind of transfer just works best for all parties.
Yeah, Russ, do you think that like because this is just something that just tweaked in my head now? Like, do you think the club are sort of taking a different approach to certain players like Ume, considering what happened with Kamara? That obviously we got a young lad on loan who played just Premier League 2 football. Obviously he came in, set the world alight, and then we missed out on him and stuff like that. So I know we wanted him back. Do you think the club are taking have seen that? Of what happened in the past, very recent past, and maybe taking a bit of a different like path.
Well, I mean, we kind of spoke about this Monday, didn't we? Has when we did our like little, just like one off of, I like this approach, even though it's more of a gamble. If it works, it pays in the long run. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
Because of like what's happened with Kamara and Robertson and so on and so forth. Even going back to Bazunu and people like that. Do you know what I mean?
mm.
Being able to get him in for a fee. If they don't work out, is 500k a lot of money? Probably not. But if in 2-3 years' time he bangs and you're selling him for a few million, then that's our way forward now with the club is,
Yeah, definitely.
let's get him in young. I think we got one of the youngest squads we've had for a while. I believe I read.
I think we've only got 2 players over 30 or over, which is Pack and Swift.
I think we got an average age of 24 or 3 or something like that.
Brilliant age, great age.
Um,
That's
Like
for
some
soccer
young
M-
Dozzell Daz.
That's for soccer M fans back in the day.
but so they gave me like Graham vibes there.
Yeah.
But you can't just keep making and it just goes to show when you've had fans moaning about things, they clearly have upped the budget. We spent more than last year. God knows how much. I know we're not paying, again, listening to Moon's podcast the other day, we're not paying the full amount of Ipswich's wage, of Chaplin's wage, but it would still be a fair amount, because
Yeah.
I imagine he's on quite a fair bit.
He's going to be on at least 20.
I reckon more than that.
The
Because
thing is,
you'll have, when they go up to the Premier League, it'll
yeah.
have skyrocketed.
The thing is that kind of tells you something as well. The fact that Ipswich are willing to pay some of his wages, mainly because, like, usually if the club that want the player on loan, if they're that desperate, especially like the club like giving him to him will be like, okay, if you're that desperate for him, he's still starting for us. You pay all his wages. The fact that they're also paying part of his wages and letting him come to us, the more I think about it, the more I think it's quite mental on the Ipswich side. And from what the fans are saying and things like that, it just seems like, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's obviously you need to be in those conversations and know exactly why things are happening and things like that, because we won't definitely hear about it. But it does feel quite strange, but in a good way for us. Do you mean I'm more than happy to take that rather than the other way around of us losing a player that we don't want to lose. Yeah. So. Is there anything else you guys want to chat about with the transfers?
Just we're winning the league.
Yeah, Kirk, he's like I've watched some clips of him. Again, you can't live off clips and stuff like that, but and
He's
listening to some what other people are talking about him, like I'm relatively happy. Well, not relatively, I'm pretty happy with it. But until you see him play, it's a different
yeah,
story.
he's very raw from
Yeah.
what I watched, but while he's a lot bigger than I realised. He's very tall. But he'll either bang one top corner or miss an easy chance. He's one of those at the moment, but he's only
Mm.
young, so
Yeah, and obviously Burskin coming in.
I
I'm
think
guessing he's coming in at number 2. So now we have 4 keepers. I'm guessing Archer was looking to go, and I
Well,
don't think he'd want to be 4th choice.
But the
the
club want 4 goalkeepers.
yeah,
He's mental, to be honest. I don't think
it
we've
It's
ever
to
makes
been in
do
that
with
me.
position.
training. Whether they all get registered is another matter, but it's to do with training.
Yeah,
Well, they. We've got enough squad space for them to all be included.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
yeah, and
I
that's
think.
4.
Well, we thought it would be Archer that was going, but then we kind of got wind of Killip being the one that might be off, but nothing materialised.
Mm. And
But
that's 4 senior goalkeepers as well. It's not like as in a couple of kids. It's not like Toby Stewart in there, which I wouldn't want in those 4 anyway, because he needs to play and get that experience. But to have 4 senior goalkeepers and goalkeepers, I think that can come in and do a half decent job. We don't obviously know Bursic that much, but we know Archer can come in and do a job. And obviously Killip was a bit hit and miss in 1 or 2 of the games, but I still think he can come in and be okay. So I think we're in a very good spot,
I
pretty
believe
much all the way through the
there's
squad.
a request from our goalie coach. I can't think of his name. That he wanted 4 goalies. More for
Oh, Joe Perdomo.
that's it. Yeah.
Fair play. Well,
I think I know. I think a lot of people were comparing our squad to the end of last season. I don't think you can compare that because you've had an extra window, right? If you compare it to this time last year, we were starting with Tom McIntyre and Jordan Williams as our centre backs. We also had Paddy Lane and Christian Sadie playing. That
mm,
like okay, Williams is still here. The other 3 are no longer at the club. If you look at the squad as a whole and the squad depth now, we are a hell of a lot stronger. We aren't just a championship team fighting for survival, or we aren't a League One team trying to stay up. We are now a Championship side, and we look more like a Championship side.
Yeah.
So obviously, we can people like Kosnovsky, LaRue, and the guys that came in that we haven't seen a lot of. We'll be able to tell more after 10, 15, 20 games, maybe by like the back in November into Christmas. But on now, we look good. We need to overspend like Wrexham have, spending £35 million on a load of old people, but their wages are going to be astronomical. We're trying to do it differently and more sustainably, which I get. We'd all like to spend a bit more money, but I think we've had looking at the names on the list and where we were and where we are now, especially the people that we've got rid of, we're in a hell of a lot better of a place than we were.
Yeah, definitely. And whenever you go into a transfer window, I mean, we've heard it loads of times, you want to come out the other end being stronger than when you started. I think we're definitely that, which also excites me coming up to January and then the summer after that, because if we're going to improve on what we've got now, it should be exciting. And I think majority of Pompey fans should be excited by it. I think you always have a certain percentage of Pompey fans that will kick back no matter what, but I think the most level-headed fans that will be excited of what's to come. Right, so shall we move on to see if anyone wants to pop on and have a little say? Shall we?
Indeed. I
Yeah.
had someone message me. I think Russ has got someone lined up.
Yeah,
So
he's in there. So
just request and we'll get to one of you first, whoever requests first. And then we'll go from there. And anyone else listening wants to have a debate or kind of say their piece on ownership, transfers, the scum game, ticket prices, the coach, the way that it's being dealt with, that you have to go on the coach.
yeah, Dan's requested. That's the
Yeah,
one.
there you go, Dan. We'll get Dan on. Anything you want, we'll have a discussion, see if we can agree. If we disagree, we'll have a little debate. Dan, do you want to go first? What do you want to talk about?
Go on, mute yourself.
Oh, there we go. Can you hear me?
We can, yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Brilliant. Just been listening for the last 15 minutes. To be honest, I agree with most of what you've just been talking about. I think for me, the window after the deadline day was a 9 out of 10. I think it went from a 7 to a 9. Chaplin coming back is brilliant. Why Ipswich have let him go, I have no idea. Because, like somebody was saying there, their fans are in absolute uproar in regards to it. I don't know what might have happened because he started, if I'm not wrong, on Saturday and played really well.
He did, yeah.
So I'm quite hopeful that we could get him on a permanent. I know they have the option for another year, but it just doesn't seem to make sense to me as to why they've let him go.
I know they had to meet their 25 squad, like everyone that needs to meet that 25 player squad, and they've got quite a bit of attacking talent. Obviously, they've just brought in Nunes, who's a slightly different player, but another midfielder, obviously from their rivals in Norwich. You've got the likes of Sammy Schmodix there, so maybe they just thought, I don't know, they must have thought that they couldn't guarantee him enough game time to want to include him in, and obviously then to not think he's good enough and think that other players that they've got that want to be in that 25.
Isn't it strange how he started Saturday, which is what the Ipswich fans were saying. Listen to their our version of their version. That makes sense. And they also they all were saying, all of them talking, that they rather have him than Samodics.
Yeah, so similar. I could not believe what I was reading when it was confirmed that he came to us, or even in the couple of hours before. Like one of you said, they were saying that the board needs to go and everything. I couldn't believe what I was reading. So I didn't realise he was still that pivotal for him. And like you was discussing earlier, 20 appearances in the Premier League, that's experience that this squad is crying out for. The only player we could have said we had before was Richie, but obviously he's off to Reading now, gone off to Reading. And I
Do you
think we
see now
need
why
that.
we got? Do you see now why we got rid of? Well,
Um,
I've always said we're not getting rid of Richie, but you can see why we couldn't offer him the game time that he wanted, and B why he then went, okay, I need to go then.
Yeah, I've debated it, and up to the deadline day, I was still for keeping Richie, because I thought to myself, who are we going to actually bring in with the quality that he brought? The second half of last season, we completely transformed when he was playing regularly for us. The press, up right from the top, he was literally running the whole show. I thought we really turned a corner when we was getting him playing for 90 minutes a game. So when it came to pre-season, and he wasn't with the squad, I was obviously quite shocked. Personally, I think I don't understand why he came back to us to then a season later demand that he plays all these games. I think something else might have happened. And I think he was a big earner at the end of the day. We wanted him off the books, and now I understand why. If we had players like Chaplin potentially coming in,
Things for me when he came back, I don't know. Obviously, I don't know the conversation and stuff like that. But maybe he thought that he would be a bit part player because I thought he wasn't going to be starting anyway. And then because of the amount of run of games he had, maybe at that point he's thinking, I want to keep playing now. Of like, because obviously at Newcastle they didn't really have a lot of consistent games for quite a few seasons. So maybe he's realised at the end of last season that I do want to keep playing now, and if I'm not going to get that guaranteed football, maybe I should go somewhere else.
yeah, you can understand it with his age, for sure, and that could quite well be the reason. Um, I just thought like he played such an instrumental role in us staying up that we would have kept him on, but for whatever reason, it's not happened. And I was somebody that was saying most of the summer we need to stay patient and people will eventually come in. But I must admit, over the last week of that window, I was starting to join in with the people that was worried about what was going to happen, because we didn't have enough cover or quality in some of them positions. And I think now, with what we've brought in, there's so much depth there all of a sudden. And also, I think there's room for Mousinho to change things around as well. There's plan Bs, whereas before I just felt like we was replacing player for player early on this season. I don't know if you feel the same. I felt like we were just replacing somebody with somebody that was basically the same. We weren't throwing anything different, especially when we was against Norwich, until Segacic moved out wide. I don't think we offered anything in that game up to that point.
Yeah, and I think that's why they were looking at players, especially kind of in the second half of the window, is why they were looking at players that could play in multiple positions. So then you haven't got that kind of rigid formation that you have to stick to. You've got a bit more fluidity and adaptability for you, not necessarily at the beginning of the game, because we know that Mousinho likes to play that 4-2-3-1. But you've got that, if you've got Chaplin in the 10, Segacic on the right, you can play. You might be able to move Chaplin up top and have two up front with him and Bishop, and then maybe move Segacic in. You can go to three at the back. You've got the likes of Josh Knight on the bench, even with Conor Ogilvie, you can push him in, and there's different ways that it can all work. So I think that's why it was key coming towards the end, is the fact that even you look at like Franco Ume, he's predominantly a right winger, but has also played on the left. So he's got that adaptability of playing both sides, and I feel like that was a key part of a lot of the signings this summer. So one, you've got cover in multiple positions if we, God forbid, we have an injury crisis like we did last year, but also you've got that adaptability available in the game, and you've got subs on the bench that can come on in different positions.
Yeah, the thing with this squad now is like I got a question for all three of you at the moment. Is all are fit? We're playing our usual formation. Who's your front four? The left, the right, the cam, the 10.
If everybody's fit,
Everyone's fit and on form. Not give them a couple of weeks to get back into it. They're all fit and on form. Who's your front four?
Murphy, Chaplin, Lang, Bishop, Segacic misses out.
Oof, I think Sega's is light years ahead of pretty much probably other than Chaplin.
I think Segacic on the right, Chaplin in the 10, Bishop up front, Murphy on the left. I think Lang actually sits out, and he's the
I
player
agree.
that would offer something a bit different to Chaplin in the 10 role. I wouldn't have him out wide.
Yeah, I think I agree about leaving Lang out. It's painful, but yeah, I think based on the players available and what I think would be the best lineup, it would be that, which is really painful. But yeah, it'd probably be Lang that missed out for me.
Also, I'll have a quick. What I'd imagine Swift was brought in to be a 10. Then you got the Lang, and then you got Segasic. Now you got Chaplin. What do we do with Swift? Because he ain't a centre mid.
He is. He can play as the 8. He just needs to not be that deeper player. That's why
I
LaRue needs to be there now.
Even I
And
don't know.
if you've got LaRue to be that deeper player, or Pack, but Pack's out injured, so for the scum game, I would be going for LaRue and Dozzell. But
Then you drop Swift.
yeah, but Swift as that as that box to box midfielder, I think that's better for his game. He's either a box to box 8 or a 10. He's not a 6. He knows that. We all know that. But he's having to use him there for now because LaRue isn't ready and Pack's injured. So
And does
I don't actually think that the flack that Swift is getting is necessarily fair when
yeah.
he's being forced to play somewhere where he isn't comfortable. But once we see a proper defensive anchor in Pack or LaRue there, and he's allowed to play further forward, like when we saw when he did move further forward into that 10 position, he looked a lot better. So either as the 10, he's now third choice there, but as that box to box also is a position where I want to see him in.
he's now second choice to Dozzell. Surely you can't drop Dozzell at the moment.
At the moment, yeah, but there'll be a point in the season where Dozzell's either suspended or injured or has dropped out in form. So, and then you've got
I
Swift
do
or
feel
Kosnovsky to come in.
I feel for Swift a lot because he's come in and sat in that role, and I actually don't think he's much to blame for how for the things that have happened. He, like you said, he's been sat in front of the back four, but he's supposed to be playing as a 2 in the centre of the park, but instead we've been playing with like one player is a defensive midfielder and then one centre midfielder, and it's left us very open in the middle of the park. When he's got the ball, he's brilliant. He reminds me of Pack, but younger. He distributes the ball out wide, and he creates a lot from the back. That's what I noticed in the games that I've watched. However, what has let him down inevitably has been his defending. But as you said there, it's not his position. And we saw against Norwich when he actually came forward, he cracked the bar, didn't he, with that long effort. And it does show that he does have a part to play in this squad. I think it's just up to Messinho to kind of unlock what will work for us going forward. We've got a lot of talent in that team now. I'm really positive for the rest of the year. I don't know about the rest of you, but I actually can see us getting towards the top half of the table.
Yeah, I definitely feel. I was saying to someone the other day, I definitely feel a lot more content, and especially going into the game next week. I'm not like confident we'll go there and get a result, but I feel a lot more relaxed. That we can like put a decent enough show on and try and get something out of it.
That's right. Chaplin's doing a David Norris, so we don't need to worry.
Boom, top pings.
But also, what's been good with the Chaplin is how many other content creators from other clubs we've literally turned heads.
Yeah.
Everyone's like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god, have you seen what Pompey's just done?" You know what I mean? And now everyone's got us down as their dark horse all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I think that's a bit extreme. If we can get into the top half, that's a very good season for us this year.
If that Bristol City team can get, I'm not saying I think we can get in the playoffs, but if that Bristol City team can get in the playoffs last season, then I did not rate that team at all. We could be that one who just goes on a mad run near the end of the season and just sneaks in at the end. Do you see it? There's always a team that does it. No reason
Just
why it can't be
remember,
us.
remember the awful start we made last year and how far we actually was from the playoffs. It wasn't actually that many points.
No.
Had we made even a half decent start in them first 10 to 12 games, we would have been in the playoffs. And it's the small margins. We started absolutely awful last season. We rock bottom of the table, and this side that we've now got, now the window's ended, is so much stronger than the team that we had last season. There's no reason why we can't do it. I think Mousinho's got the job now of unlocking the potential of that team. I'm not saying that we're nailed on contenders to be in the playoffs by any such means, but you can't say that we're 100% not going to make it either, because there's some bang average mediocre teams in this league.
No, definitely. And I think now if we can take this 4-game stint that we've just done as a kind of a sample size, obviously I know we're probably in these 4 games aren't going to be like repeated the whole way through the season, but if we can be consistent enough like we did in these 4 games where we're picking up points, going away from home, getting a point here and there, like maybe getting a win as well, improving our away record, but also improving our home record even more, I think we're going to give ourselves a massive chance, absolute massive chance. Should we get global football in?
Yep. Hiya, boys. You're right.
Yeah, I was going to say just cheers, Dan, for coming on. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dan.
Yeah, cheers,
Thanks for
Dan.
coming on,
Thank
mate.
you.
No problem. Cheers, lads.
Yeah, I mean, going on, just a little word on the transfer window. I think what you guys said is I fully agree with, and I think the words to take from this window in terms of recruitment is versatility. And looking back on last season, where I mean, the first 6 games, considering the opponents we had in the first 6 games, I don't think it was an awful start. But we were found out very quickly after those first 6 opponents. And which led us to change our football. Now, the problem last season was that we stuck with one style of play. It led us to be very predictable, and on the back of that, I think, as Dan raised quite well, we weren't far off the playoffs. I think a big reason why we could have, if things went away, if we were able to be a lot more versatile, we wouldn't have dropped so many points last minute in games, where I think that was a big problem for us last season, where if we were to have made that push last season, it was that we couldn't see games out. Going into this season with the versatility we've got, I mean, we've had very interesting discussions today about the midfield. Do you play Swift or Dozzell, or where does LaRue fit in? These are really healthy decisions to have, because they're all different types of midfielders. And it allows us to change up our game. Either, we can start a more possession-based approach, which is Mousinho's more preferred style from what I remember in League One. Or if it ain't working out and, we're coming against teams who have better quality than us, then we can go back to what we were doing last season and go a bit more route one. And I think that's been my view of the window. I've been very impressed with what we've done. I agree. I think the last week, I think, as with a lot of people, I've been very little impatient, especially in terms of the winger situation, losing Richie, and it didn't really look like we had anyone lined in. But now, obviously, Chaplin's in. I can see the vision of either Segacic or Lang going out onto the right, with Chaplin in the middle, obviously Murphy out left. I see the vision, so I'm very happy with this transfer window.
Yeah, it's given us, well, Chaplin coming in, I think, has given us that flexibility now to have quality, like all in that front, like attacking positions. I think if we hadn't have got Chaplin in and then Ume and then Bianchini for the foreseeable would be our right sided options, I would have not worried, but I wouldn't have been as comfortable. So do you think that obviously, like, obviously, do you think Chaplin was not a panic as such? Because obviously, when you get a player like that, and it's not a panic, but like,
Yeah.
but like, do you think they looked at that and thought, we can't really get another out and out right winger that sort of can come in and hit the ground running? So do you think Chaplin was their next best option to feel like, right, let's be a bit flexible?
Yeah, I think it's the best of both worlds, really. I mean, you've had that opportunity come up on the market, and obviously you're going to take it. But at the same time, I do think there was that part of it where I think, obviously, during the window, we did have our right wing targets. Didn't work as such. We were priced out. I mean, I remember early on the window, I don't know if it was definitely a target we were going for, but it was linked a lot in the media. Winger from Belgium, Griffin Yao. There was always talk of right wingers, but we were always priced out. So I do think there was a bit of that sort of vision from the club of going, right, we can't get our targets, but we've had someone come up in the market who is perfect for our system, perfect for the club. We've got players who can go out onto the right. This will work. I think it's the best of both worlds.
Russ, how's it going? You anything you want to add?
I think the thing with I know you were saying it's not a panic buy with Chaplin, but again, listening to the Andrew Moon's podcast, by the sounds of it, the club sort of got a wind that Ipswich were looking to get him out, on loan, and I think the club just threw their name in the hat and I think Chaplin, once he realised we wanted him, was like, "That's the only club I'm going to go to.
Yeah.
That's the only team in the Championship I'm willing to leave," because he loves it at Ipswich. The bloke, as he says, his kids were born there. Him and his fiance have made a life there. So he's like, if I'm going to go to another Championship club, the only one is Portsmouth.
Yeah, and that's the feeling I've been getting from like Ipswich fans as well, that they're not happy. They never wanted him to leave, but from what I've been seeing from a lot of them, they've been like, well, if he's going to go somewhere, I'm glad he's gone to Pompey, because obviously they know the history, obviously with Chaplin, him being a Pompey boy, being a Pompey fan and stuff like that. So that's it's weird, because it's actually quite nice to see, because yeah, how many times have we signed a player and people are like, oh, I'll drive him down there myself and that kind of stuff, like all that sort of pathetic sort of chat. So it's quite nice to sort of so it's quite nice to see that like difference of view between like two sets of fans. Global football. Oh, sorry, mate. What's your name?
Jackson.
Jackson. All right, mate. Sorry, I don't want to
That's
keep
all
calling you
right.
global football. So obviously we were saying about who would be our front four
Yeah.
if everyone was fit and ready to go. What would be yours?
I believe it was Dan that said it. Murphy on the left, Segacic on the right, Chaplin number 10, Bishop up top. As much as I love Lang, I think the whole Fratton faithful, we can all agree, we all love Lang. But looking at what we've got now, from what I've seen of Lang this season, especially in pre-season, I've not been convinced of him on the right wing. He's best in the middle. But also, we are changing our style of play this season. Lang really came into his own when we started going more direct. In a possession-based approach, his passing isn't amazing. That's when you have the likes of Chaplin. Even Chaplin's a bit of a similar player, but Chaplin's got that quality. That Lang, I think it's fair to say that Chaplin, as we were saying earlier, he's got that experience, he's got that quality. He was such an important side, not only the team that went up from League One, but the season he had in the Championship as well for Ipswich he was a very, very big part of that side. Lang, I can't see Lang starting ahead of. I mean, from a personal opinion, I couldn't start Lang ahead of Chaplin in that number 10, nor am I convinced from what I've seen of Lang on the right for him to start there. What I'd like is for him to be an impact player, come on, because we know that, you know, he's a danger as a footballer. He creates chances, he gets into positions, he is a nightmare for defenders. I think as an impact player, I think that's kind of where his role is now, personally.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the good thing is now is that I think we've said it for so many seasons that when you've looked at other teams' benches and the players that they're able to bring on, I
Mm,
can now look at our benches. Obviously, once Lang gets back in is fit, and be happy that the sort of players we're going to have to be able to replace certain players. So if
yeah,
Lang comes on for Segatic, or if Lang comes on for Chaplin for any reason, like I'm comfortable with them coming on and doing a job, and that's
yeah,
exactly where you want to be. So
yeah,
obviously, I don't know how much you watched the game on Saturday
yeah, yeah,
with
yeah.
Josh Knight coming in. Is because we had this debate the other day. Josh Knight, does he start over Regan Paul or Shaughnessy, or do you push Regan Paul out to the right back position like he did when Josh Knight came on against Preston?
Yeah, it's yet again, a very interesting one because I think I spoke about it on TikTok the other day. I think we've got 5 centre backs now who are all of very similar quality, and I think you can make a case for sort of any centre back really to start in the lineup. Knight is a tough one, and I think purely. I don't know who I'd force out right now. I would stick with Paul and Shaughnessy. It's working. I know the first 20 minutes against Norwich for them two was an absolute horror show, but the rest of the game they were all right. Against Preston, they were pretty solid. Knight offers something a bit more different than Paul and Shaughnessy. And yet again, talking about Lang, I think it's having that versatility and that depth there, and I think that's why we've brought Knight in. Can he start? 100%. And I think, yet again, what like we were talking about with Swift earlier, if Dozzell, obviously he's undroppable right now, but if there was that opportunity where Dozzell either gets injured or suspended, then that's the route in for Swift or Kozhanovsky. It's a similar situation for Knight, I think. I think he's one of those players where what I would love to see is him play in a back three. I think he would thrive in a back three. Are we going to change to a back three? Absolutely not right now. What we're doing is working. But it's a tough one to call. I don't think he starts ahead of Shaughnessy or Paul now. But I can see it happening. If I was to drop one, it maybe would be Paul. I don't know if I'd force him out into right back. I haven't seen enough of him at right back yet. Williams is doing a decent enough job in my opinion, and then we've got Swanson, who I thought looked decent against Preston on Saturday as well. So yeah, it's competition for places right now, and I think it's a great debate to have, isn't it? Really, and as you were saying earlier, it's something we've been crying for years. Having that debate, who actually starts for this club? For the so many years now, we've had a set lineup, set players. You go, yeah, they start there on the bench. Whereas now we're looking at this team and going, oh, hang on, I'm not too sure who starts here because we've got a lot more depth and versatility within the team.
Yeah, absolutely. Cheers for that, Jackson. We're gonna
Thank you.
like
Of
move on to our segments now. But cheers
course. Yeah, yeah.
for coming on. So, same with Dan as well. Thank you so much, boys, for coming on and chatting. Obviously we're gonna do another episode next week. And obviously with it being the build up to the Scum game and international break, we're gonna get people on again to chat. So like if you've missed anything you want to talk about tonight, please like come along tomorrow. Next week. Sorry,
Come tomorrow if you
I'm.
like, but
You can
I
come.
won't
You,
be
you come
there.
over here tomorrow. You can come around tomorrow if you want.
You
But
can
yeah,
if you like, but I won't be there.
yeah, yeah. Like come back on next week and we can have another chat.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we'll be there next week, 100%.
Cheers,
Perfect.
Jackson.
Cheers,
Cheers,
mate.
Dan.
Thank you
Very
very
much.
much, boys. Have a great evening.
And you,
And
see you,
you.
mate. And also, yeah, thanks Jackson. Obviously, thanks to Dan coming on. Really good like chats. And as I said, next week we'll do the same again. Get a couple of people on. And if you've got anything different you want to talk about, then please like let us know through the rest of this week and next week. And yeah, we can get you on.
But Daz, I'll be a little bit worried with them two coming on about your position at the
Yeah,
moment.
I think we've found a substitute. So when
Shut
next time when you go,
up.
oh, I'm on holiday again.
Mate,
We're going to be DMing them to come and replace you.
I am actually going to Paris tomorrow, by the way, just so you know. I actually am. It's my birthday tomorrow, so I'm going to Paris.
Where did you go last year for your birthday? Because you were away for that as well, weren't you?
Paris as well, actually. I went to Paris last time. But,
So you went to a shitty, smelly French town
mate,
and went, I want to go
I'll
back
do it
there.
again.
it's lovely. It's
It
absolutely
smells
lovely.
of shit, Daz.
No, it
I'll
doesn't.
be there once and never again.
It's lovely,
Exactly.
and we're doing the PSG tour on Saturday morning as well. So
Oh, so now you also support sports washing. Well done, Daz.
yeah, I do actually. Yeah, thanks very much. Yeah, I'll take anyone here. Like I'll wash everyone's sport if they want it. So I ain't got no problem with that. All right. So shall we move on to my blind rankings?
You taking your missus up the Eiffel Tower?
We were talking
Whoa!
about that actually. Right, should we move on to the blind rankings before they become angry rankings?
Angry what?
Angry rankings.
I'll wait. Who's gonna be the first one to say the wrong thing?
It's getting close, to be fair. Right. So I'm just trying to think how I'm going to work this out. Who goes first? So Haz, it's your turn to say left or right. Go now.
Right.
Yes, I was looking at my right hand, so that's fine. So you have a choice. I think this will be the last blind rankings when it comes to like players and that kind of stuff because I've bled that dry. So I'm going to look into something else next. But we've got either managers or out and out wingers. Which
I'll
one
go
do you want?
managers.
Managers.
Please.
Okay, lovely. Here we go. So as I said, because Haz was born about a year ago, we have to keep it to a certain sample size from a certain year, so like 2006 onwards.
we
And
had 10 managers since he was born.
yeah, we have actually. Yeah, I was quite surprised how many did it, and I did leave some out because I didn't want them in this black ranking. So should we start? Let's go with Tony Adams.
Oh, that one to start on.
That is 7.
7. Okay. Okay.
7.
7. Next one, Avram Grant.
Uncle Av. 4.
4. Lovely. No problem whatsoever, that one. Everybody's friend, Kenny Jackett.
10.
10.
I
Wow.
hate the bloke. He can get in the bin.
Fucking deserves to be.
Well.
That 3-1 against Coventry with 9 men will forever haunt me. So he deserves to get in the bin.
Steve Cotterill.
6.
We've had some bad managers, haven't we?
Yeah. Yeah, we have. Trust me, it was a professor looking through him. Let's go next with Harry Redknapp.
Ooh. 2.
2. 2. Lovely. Paul Cook.
Wow.
I don't even know if you boys, because like Cook is Marmite, isn't he?
Yeah.
Are you a lover or a hater?
3.
3.
Like, Haz is a
Well,
lover.
there's your answer. There's your answer.
What about you, Daz? Are you a lover
Yeah,
or a hater?
I like him. Like, I mean,
Yeah, I liked him enough.
I don't know, like, obviously, how he's doing at Chesterfield now. I don't know if maybe
They got whooped 7-1 midweek.
Yeah, looking back on it, it might have been the right thing, like as in him moving on, maybe. But I don't know. We'll see, I suppose. Next one up is Michael Appleton. Michael Appleton.
5.
Okay.
Because I think he was hard done by.
Yeah.
Just because of the time he managed. I think he's actually a decent manager, but was restricted.
Yeah. So Danny Cowley or the Cowleys, whichever way you want to look at it.
I've really paused this up now.
What's he got left?
1, 8, and 9.
That's it, yeah. You've been writing these
They're
down?
not 1, but they're not 8 or 9 either, are they?
They can go 8.
Oh, poor Cowleys.
Sorry, Danny.
That's
He's probably
horrible.
listening.
Richie Barker.
9.
And
Please say who I think you've got number 1.
hold on.
Please don't.
I'm tempted to change it now.
Andy Orford.
Yeah. Mr. John Messino.
That is exactly who I was hoping.
Lovely. I did have Guy Whittingham and Andy Orford in this list, but I took them out last minute because, especially Guy Whittingham, I didn't want him being anywhere down the pecking order, so I took him out. And Andy
think-
Orford.
If you took the Cowleys, I put 8th. If you put them 4th and moved everyone else down 1, it's not
Yeah.
awful. It's not awful.
No.
That does last week.
No, and like the thing is, like as I said, didn't want Guy Whittingham and Andy Orford because it's one of those things where I definitely from now on I never want an ex player that I loved like now coming back to us. Like, I mean,
that
go on, sorry, mate.
I was going to say that thing with Whittingham. I'll still never forget it. I think we lost 2-1 Scunthorpe, I want to say, and he's clapping the frat, and then literally everyone's telling him to fuck off, and it was
Hate
like
it.
that's Guy Whittingham.
Yeah, and that was the thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with Danny Cowley and that. Like him and his brother, nicest blokes you ever meet. So I hated it when they were getting abused, and especially when people call them wankers and stuff like that. I was like, they're far from being wankers. They're just it hasn't worked out, and they did need to go, but you don't need to abuse them like that.
Whereas Kenny Jackett deserved every single thing he got.
But
Well,
he never got it because of fucking COVID, and people
exactly.
wouldn't do it before.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, if I don't know if you've seen Matt Taylor's just been sacked again.
Yeah, he's not
Which
cut out for management,
It's
is he?
horrible. It's horrible. Again, he's probably my favourite. I'm trying to think. I don't know if he's my favourite ever Pompey player, but he's fucking up
He's up
there.
Yeah.
I absolutely love the bloke, and it's horrible to see that kind of stuff. So that's just re-emphasised not having an ex-player come back to us. So right, let's go through your list, Harry. So you had
Yes.
John Messino first,
I
Harry Redknapp
love him
second,
so much.
Paul Cook third, Avram Grant fourth, Michael Appleton fifth, Steve Cottrell sixth. Who was that? Who's TA? Tony Adams seventh. Who was DC?
Cowleys.
Cowley's eighth. Richie Barker 9. Kenny Jackett 10.
I'm happy with that. Sorry to Danny and Nicky Cowley. You deserve to be higher.
So, Russ, you've got wingers. Let's go. I'm trying to say. So, rewind. Rico Hackett.
Fucking hell.
He's not an out-and-out winger.
Yes, he is.
He played on wings for us.
Yes. Shut up, Haz. It's my quiz.
Am I allowed to be personal with this?
You can put them literally wherever you want. It's up to you.
I'll put Jacket 10.
I won't go 10. I'll go 9 because I just fucking didn't like him.
Because that's the thing with the managers, Kenny Jackett. Like, I mean, he was relatively like he won something and stuff like that. So out of all those managers, he's definitely above Richie Barker, isn't he? So it's just
No. And I've got my argument with Kenny Jackett. That bloke took over a fucking quality team, ripped it apart, and absolutely destroyed us and made us a fucking crap League One club. Everything that bloke did was with, probably other than Pittman, was with players that we already had. Lowe, Clark, Burgess, players like that. They already were here.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, but we signed Omar Bogle and James Vaughan on loan.
Oh, and he got rid of fucking Chaplin and all.
He did, yeah. Next one, Ronan
Trigger
Curtis.
warning.
Ronan Curtis. I'll move this on before he loses his head.
Jackett's a real sore subject.
Yeah.
Curtis.
He's not an out-and-out winger.
Yes, he is. Shut up.
Curtis. I'm going to go 5.
5. And if anyone's got an issue with this, just post a letter to idon'tgiveafuck.com. Thank you very much.
It was so random.
Next one, Ricky Holmes.
He's not an out-and-out winger.
God, he's another Marmite player. Some people thought he was God. Some people thought he was fucking God shit.
I thought he was really good when I watched him when I was a youngster, and now I look back and realise, yeah, he wasn't very good.
I'll put him at 7.
7. Sorry, wait, who was that? Ricky Holmes, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm getting confused because fucking Harry keeps piping up. John Utaka.
Oh God, he's a hard one, isn't he? Because he's clearly better than everything that you've already said. But he was a dick, wasn't he?
Yeah. FA Cup winner.
I'll go with 6. More because I just didn't like him than his actual ability.
Viv Solomon Ottenborg.
He's not an out-and-out winger.
I was fucking waiting for him to come up. 10.
10.
He deserves to be 10 just for being offside.
Well, I still think Pittman's
No,
partly blamed that.
don't
No,
say it.
no.
Don't say it. If you blame Pittman for that, you deserve a slap on that bald head. Pittman did the perfect thing.
As long as you buy me a drink first.
If Solomon had just stayed on side, which is the most basic thing that even the boys I coach understand, you've got to stay behind the ball.
Yeah.
Right? And they're 13. It's a goal and no one ever even questions Pittman. People go, yeah, but if Pittman just put it in, yeah, but that's a lot harder. Yeah, the keeper to beat, who's rushed off his line, he made the right choice. Just a simple tap in and winning.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not. Was it a winner at that point? Yeah, I think it would have made it.
Yeah, and then because I think Peterborough went up the other end, didn't they?
Literally from that and scored.
So,
yeah.
Right, next one, Paddy Lane.
I don't even know. I think I've given everyone 5 and down, haven't I?
Yeah.
Quality player.
I'll go 4. I'm worried I'm going to put some shit really high now, but
yeah, Josh Murphy.
He deserves to be up high.
Yeah, he's not really an out-and-out winger though, so I can't.
No, he's actually a centre half.
Yeah. Jed Wallace.
3. Quite liking how this is going, actually.
3. Next one is Andy Barcham.
Oh, fuck's sake. Do I have to put him at 2?
Is that all you've got left? Is 2 and 1?
1, 2, and 8.
Oh, got 8 still?
Yeah.
He's better than 8, but let's put him at 8.
Okay. Next one is Josh Murphy.
Ooh.
Do I put him at 1?
If he comes out with someone mental after you put in 1.
But who's better than Josh Murphy, realistically? Taylor?
Jacob
Berger?
Murphy.
And how far back have you gone with this? Obviously, you've got to go so Berger wouldn't come up. Just trying to think. Who other wingers you would have ahead of Murphy? I'm gonna risk it and put him 1.
Yeah. Okay, lovely. No problem. And so in your number 2 will be Ryan Williams.
I'm glad I put Murphy 1 now.
Yeah. So you've got...
The problem is you gave me a lot of shit wingers.
I did, yeah. Because
I would probably move Curtis up. That was probably my mistake. I should have put a bit higher. But I was waiting for your Murphys, your Taylors, your Bergers doing.
Yeah.
And they never came.
No, never came. Never came. Good. Well, because Berger couldn't come anyway. Because obviously...
How would you know?
Huh?
How would you know?
He was too drunk at the time. So you've got Josh Murphy 1, Ryan Williams 2, Jed Wallace, Paddy Lane, Ronan Curtis, we'll say Russell Curtis then, John Utaka, Ricky Holmes, who's AB, Andy Barcham, Rico Hackett, and then Viv Solomon Otterborg.
Yeah.
So there's your 10. So not too bad, but yeah, I wanted to do like as many crap ones as possible because it's a bit funnier.
It was like, when are you going to give me a good one?
It's a bit funnier.
Right.
Because the problem was with the managers, I was stuck to a certain amount. I mean, Guy Whitney and Andy Orford are the only 2 that I've left out. I don't know. I can't remember if I had any more to put in there.
Whatever it is you're planning on doing next, definitely do one aimed at Has and one me.
What about Joe Gallen?
Yeah.
Definitely want to get some 90 players in this.
Simon Bassey.
Simon Bassey, true. Yeah, but he
did well when we played Spurs away.
Yeah, we can't have him because he beats players up. So
I met Joe.
Yeah, he pins them up against the wall, doesn't
exactly.
I met Joe Gallen once, and he was a lot nicer than Jacket.
He's nice. He's the nice of the 2, which probably is not saying a lot.
Jacket never even bothered with the fans. So I remember I took my boy to one of them like training opening days during the summer holidays. Gallon was there talking to everyone for ages, and Jack had just literally just walked past everyone and said hello.
He's the most boring bastard ever.
Yeah. Right, Daz, I've just noticed the time.
Yeah.
My thing could take a while, so I'm going to save it for next week. I want us to do Harry's Who Am I?
Okay, let's go.
He's not an out of that winner.
Indeed. Shall I add that to it?
Yeah,
Shall
go
I
on.
add a boom to it?
I'll do it if you want. Bash!
I'll add this to it instead.
Have you come in fast?
Or
My name is Jeff.
right. No, I'll stop playing around with different things.
Yeah.
Here we go. Clue number 1. Despite being at Pompey, I failed to make an appearance for the club.
Say that again?
Despite signing for Pompey, I failed to make an appearance for the club.
I've got someone in my head.
I got that. Was it Williamson? Was that centre back?
I've got Lloyd Isgrove. Did he actually play in
Yeah,
it?
but I'll take this as signing. Wasn't he alone?
Oh, I don't know. No, Lloyd was. Oh, I can't remember.
Well, you say yours and I'll say mine, and we'll see
Yeah,
where we
go
are.
on. I'll go Lloyd Isgrove.
Sorry, it's gone.
I can't remember exactly his last. Is it? Because I know it's not Williams. Is it Williamson?
Yeah, what
Mike
What,
Williamson.
Luke Williamson?
No,
Do you mean Sean? Is it Sean Williamson? Is it
no,
the mate that was manager of Carlisle and that lot for a bit?
possibly. He's the one that we signed him in the Premier League.
Yeah, I think he did play a game though, didn't he?
I'm sure he didn't play any. Then he went to Newcastle.
Yeah, I mean he might play pre-season.
Oh,
Actually.
Mike Williamson.
That's it, Mike Williamson.
Is it Mike Williamson?
Oh,
No.
right.
Our initial thought's gone.
Okay.
Clue number 2. I played with Dejan Stevanovic, Michael Polk, and Fitzroy Simpson, but not at Pompey.
Stevanovic also went to Fulham.
Wednesday.
Was it Sheffield Wednesday as well?
Yeah, that was before us.
Oh shit, it was, wasn't it? So Sheffield Wednesday, Fulham.
Where did Fitzroy go after us? Was that
I can't remember.
I know was it Walsall at one point, but I know he went into the Premier League, didn't he? Was it Coventry or was that Paul Hall that went to Coventry?
Paul Hall went to Coventry.
Oh, he was at Man. We got him from Man City.
Yeah. I don't know. Oh no, Cole Griffiths. Did he play? No, he didn't, because he wouldn't have played it.
But he played for us.
Did he actually play? I can't remember how many games he played. Did he play many?
Yeah, he got. I've got a couple of goals on my files,
there you
so he
go.
definitely played.
There you go. I saw him on the tube once, and he was actually very surprised I noticed who it was. He's like, "You're the first Pompey fan to come up to me and recognise me."
And not punch me because he hated it.
Mate, he was sound, mate. He was offering us this was at the West Brom semi-final. Him and his mate, who was in in Football Factory, the one that holds the knife to Danny Dyer's throat.
Yeah,
he was with him, and they were giving us these cards to go to these nightclubs. Said, "Oh, tell him my name, and you'll get straight in." Thanks,
nice.
mate. So he's a nice guy. Leave him alone.
Anyway,
we digress.
So Man City was before us, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Then he went to Walsall after us. That's all I know of Fitzroy Simpson.
Yeah.
Who was the third player? Has
Michael Polk.
Scummers.
Yeah, it's about the only. Oh, hang on. Oh, I thought my dog was going to bark there, but he didn't.
He did that last time.
Yeah, he get. There's a cat that stalks him at night.
Go out there and kick. Oh, is it your cat as well? Is it?
No.
Oh, right. Don't go out and kick it. Go do Kurt Zuma it.
Did you see Mourinho said that? He got Jose Mourinho He got asked if he likes cats or dogs. He went, "I like cats. I'm not Kurt Zuma." What a lad!
This is fucking hard.
It is Jesus.
The 3 players, I can't cross them over.
That's the whole point.
No, yeah, but sometimes you can work out, like, remember the one that played in Germany, Boris Ivkic? It was like, hang on, they all played for Leverkusen. There must be this player. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I honestly don't know. Never played. Daryl Flahaven. Thought he was at Scum, wasn't
He was, yeah.
I feel like Daz is going to come out of a Hail Mary out of nowhere again.
he? Yeah, we need one of them. We ain't had them.
Yeah, I haven't had one for a while, have we?
Not this season.
No.
No, we've been on it this season. We've been class.
Just trying to think It's obviously, I reckon it's a kind of a journeyman, that
Well, I just got
goalkeeper.
Goalie in my head. That's why I went for Daryl Flahaven.
That Phil Smith played for us, didn't he, that season?
Butterfingers, yeah.
He did, didn't he? Because it was him, John, that thingy Sullivan, wasn't it? Those two.
Oh, terrible goalies. Don't bring back memories like that, please.
He's riled it up enough after Kenny Jackett.
Yeah.
Don't.
Jesus. This is mental.
Trying to find. Can't be that many players we signed that haven't played, surely.
I don't know. That's the hardest thing, trying to think of a player that's not made one appearance. Oh, bloody hell. I don't know. I'm going to have to just give in this round. I can't even think of anyone.
Yeah, let's get the next question.
Yeah.
Right. Clue number 3. I have been on a coaching staff of my national team since I retired.
Get out. I don't think we're going to get this one.
Coaching staff is... Wow. So, who's on, like... Don't know. Is that his country's coaching staff, is it?
Yes.
So this makes me then wonder, is it a player that played with Dejan Stevanovic abroad?
Yeah.
Dude, I know he's at that Vietnamese, whatever they're called, because that's where we got him from. Before that, I have no idea.
This is bamboozled. Just trying to think of who's not made one appearance.
He thinks he's got us, the little git. Who ain't played for us?
Do you want a 4th clue?
Yeah.
I'll give it to you before you guess, because we need to speed up for Daz. I previously announced my retirement for the game before I signed for Portsmouth. I also managed, it was reported that I earned almost £450,000 during the 8 months I was with Pompey.
And he announced his retirement before signing with us.
Yes.
So that must be in the Premier League if he's earning that amount of money. Actually, is it? What's that? 8 months divided by 400 grand. What's that? Quick maths. It's a number.
8 months, 400 grand. What was that?
Yeah.
Not bad work, is it?
For not playing football.
No.
Yeah.
About 50 grand, isn't it?
So that's Premier League, isn't it?
I don't know. Do you not remember our owners?
What the problem was in the Championship that when we got relegated the first time, we didn't have a squad, did we? So they would have had to have played.
That was his retirement. Did Anthony Amy play for us?
I'm pretty sure he played a game, didn't he?
Did he? I'm gonna say Anthony.
Yeah, go on.
Anthony Amy. Yeah, have that.
Dog's
Remain
happy.
dog bark. Yes.
Dog's happy.
Well done.
We needed a fourth one, but that was good. Thing is, Anthony Imber, I swear he'd played
No,
a game
he
for
didn't.
us.
No.
I was just trying to think of goalkeepers that we had. Was he really on 50 grand a week for us?
No.
Did I mishear the question?
Who's 450 grand earned in 8 months?
Yeah, so that's what.
So it's 50 grand a month,
Yeah.
not 50 grand a week.
Oh, sorry. Ignore me. I misheard week.
Still
I
wouldn't
had-
turn my nose up.
So he played with Dejan Stevanovic at Fulham, Michael Polk at Scum, and Fitzroy Simpson at Hearts.
I didn't realise you went.
Still earned like 15 grand a month.
All right, bad, right?
No,
No wonder
cracking, isn't it?
No wonder we nearly went fucking under. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Lovely.
Right, bang on then, Daz. Go on.
Yeah. Cheers, boys. Do you want me to wrap it up, or are you up for wrapping it up?
Quickly, I'll just do our loan roundup
Go on.
before you wrap it up. Toby Stewart played the full 90 again. Didn't keep a clean sheet this week. They drew 1-1 at home to Greenock Morton, and Harry Clout came on in the 76th minute as Farnborough won 5-2 away to Chelmsford. So both got minutes.
Lovely. Good work, boys. Lovely. So, should we wrap it up there? Shall we?
Yeah, because someone's got to go home and run away again.
When did Niemi play with Stevanovic? I'm lost with that one.
Fulham.
Was he at Fulham?
Yeah.
There you go.
Fulham,
Sorry.
I've done my hard work and my homework. Don't doubt me.
Yeah, I've got it wrong once before.
So
Once out of about 50 people.
Right, so Pompey fans, obviously no game this weekend, so like no stresses, no worries. We will be back next Thursday, not tomorrow. Be back next Thursday to obviously preview the game that's happened on that weekend. No idea who it is.
Daz, which team are you going to support?
Yeah. It'd be nice actually having someone, the opposition on the panels give us their views.
you know that picture of that kid going, ooh, it's like that. That's what I'm doing right now. But yeah, so we'll have a preview of that game. And then, as we said, if anyone wants to come on, if there's anything you want to have a little shout about, like if you want to have a little debate, anything you've disagreed with us over the past few podcasts since the start of the season, then please come on. We'll have a respectful chat, as we obviously did with Dan and Jackson. Yeah, so if there's anything you want to chat about next week, please just fire us a message and we'll definitely get you on. So until then, enjoy the rest of the international break. I will be enjoying my birthday tomorrow, so hope you all have a lovely weekend.
Happy birthday, you scammer.
Cheers, mate.
Happy birthday.
Can't wait to wear my Saint shirt tomorrow. But yeah, anyway, that was a joke, by the way. But yeah, cheers guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Later, Pompey.